Okay, today I'm going to show you how you can easily fix the 3 most common problems that go wrong with a microwave. The first one is the microwave is completely dead, the screen doesn't turn on. The second one is a combination where you might see a door error, the light might stay on, the fan might stay on, there's something wrong when you open and shut the door. The third one is a little more complicated, and that is the F1E4 error. So let me start with first the easiest one, and that's the microwave is completely dead, it won't turn on. So let me show you how to fix that. So your microwave is probably different than mine, but all of these repairs will be in the same general area and the same general fix. Just for reference, mine is a 2-year-old Whirlpool microwave. I read a lot of comments about a 2-year-old microwave breaking just like mine did. So first, let me show you how to fix a completely dead microwave, and step 1 is to unplug it. Now, I'm going to have to remove this panel and this cover. Again, yours might be a little different, but generally you want to get to behind this panel here. So you remove the 2 top screws and this panel comes right out. Now on the Whirlpool microwaves, the fuse is located behind this cover. You remove this panel, there's nothing holding it in. If you look right here, that's the fuse. That is the main fuse. And we knew ours was bad because it was all burned. If your microwave is completely dead, won't turn on, 99% of the time, just replace that main fuse. And I'll put a link in the description below of what fuse to get, but you could go to any hardware store and just look for appliance fuse. And just for reference, it's 20 amp and 250 volt. Okay, this next fix is the second problem you might have, and that's a door issue where you might see door error, it might stay on, the light or the fan might stay on when you shut it, issues like that. And that is a problem with switches. There are 3 switches behind here. First we have to get to them, so let me show you how to do that. Mine, there's a screw on the top, you lift up, and you can pull this right out. There's wires behind here, so you might want to take a picture with your phone to know where they go, but they only go plug in one way. Then there's 2 more blue wires. This is a ground wire right here. Once that's removed, you can use a screwdriver and remove this plastic cover. And the wires fit right through the plastic and it pulls right out. Now there's 2 spots where it clicks in. You can see on the microwave, there's 2 little clicks here and here, and those lock in. And there's 3 switches. Now you have to remove 2 screws on the front to get the switches out. On the top, there are 2 switches, one on either side. They have names like FD62, FD61, things like that. It doesn't really matter exactly what that code is. You just have to know some key things. Some switches are normally open, and when they're clicked, they close. Some switches are normally closed, and when you click, they open. And then there's one that's either open or closed that will trigger either way. So if you're never sure, you can always buy the 3-way switch. It will always work. It depends on where you plug it in. That's the key. You can tell just by looking at the switch where the wires plug in. And you can tell if a switch is pretty good typically by listening. If you push in the little button, you can hear it click. When ours broke, we had a door issue. It said door and then the fuse blew. And when I took these switches all apart, one of them was completely fused. It wouldn't click in. And that was the one that was wrong. We ended up buying all new switches, but I found out later that that was the one that was wrong. And you can actually take these apart. These switches are pretty easy to take apart. And I could see that the metal plates were fused, and I forced them apart, and it actually could have started working and been reused. So again, I will put links to all these switches down in the description. But all you have to do is push down on the little tab, and the switches slide right out. Now this is what you want to replace right here. And this says 38N25C. That doesn't really matter. It also says FA63. That also doesn't really matter. The key is the orientation of these little tabs and what this switch does. Again, you can hear this clicking. I think it's good, and I know it's a good switch. If this was fused and you tried to push it in and it wasn't clicking, the metal is fused in here and it's broken. And here's a key. Do not buy the official Maytag, Whirlpool, whatever switch. You don't need it. You can get them for as little as $4, $5, or $6. You don't have to buy the $30 switch. Just know if it's normally open, normally closed, or the three-way where it switches back and forth. That's all you need to get, and you can tell by the plugs. So when you take it off, say, okay, there's a plug on the bottom and the front, or is there two on the front, or are there three plugs? That's all you need to know, and that's what you need to replace. Just plug it back in, and you're good to go. Again, if you're not sure, it's good to take lots of pictures with your cell phone so you know, okay, the blue and the white wire goes here, okay, the orange wire goes here, because you're going to forget in a couple weeks. So it's good to take lots of pictures. And mine, there's two holes in these switches. There's two prongs. They fit in and it clicks right in. So the last problem is the F1E4 error, and this is where you might want to consider replacing your microwave because it gets a little complicated. The problem is in this circuit board. It's a relay. F1E4 is a power relay issue. First of all, check those two other things. I highly recommend, because those are cheap, quick fixes that you can do. Once you get into this area, you might have a problem. You can either, one, buy the circuit board, which might end up being $60, $100. Two, you could try to replace this relay right here. On mine, it says H. It's kind of hard to see. I had to get in here with my cell phone. It says HF46F, and it's welded in. You would have to take this circuit board off, desolder it, and replace it, if that's the issue. This is the main relay, so it might be this problem. And you might be able to test it with a digital voltmeter to see if there's continuity. You should hear it switch on when it's applied power to it. It's a switch that opens and closes with power. So you could test it before you have to replace it, but that's what you want to do. You might be better off buying a whole new circuit board. You might also be better off buying a whole new microwave. So again, if your microwave is completely dead, it's the fuse. If you're having an issue with the door, it says door error, the light's staying on, the fan's staying on, not shutting off, it's an issue with one of these three door switches. If you see F1E4 error, it's a problem with that main relay, and that's where you really get into issues, whether you should replace the microwave. If you can desolder and install a new relay, which might not be the issue, usually it's one of the two easier ones, so I recommend trying that first. I hope this helps. I hope your microwave is similar. Again, this fuse might be here. It's usually up in a main panel that's easy to get to. You could, if you knew where it was, you could fix it in under 3 minutes. You take off a couple screws, pop in the new fuse, you're done. The switches are a little more complicated, but again, don't have to buy your specific brand, your exact model. Just know if it's normally open, normally closed, or the three-way. Buy one for $5. I'll put descriptions and links to everything down in the description below where you can buy it. Even the relay, which was kind of hard to find. Luckily, I didn't have to fix that. I had the F1E4 error, but I fixed it with the door and the fuse. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks.
Well, I hope you liked the video you just watched. If you did, feel free to subscribe by clicking the button on this side. You can also check out all the videos I've done, the playlist from things I've built, things I've fixed, home repair, 3D printing. And on this side, you can check out a recommended video similar to the one you just watched. And as always, down in the description, I'll put a link to my blog, which has more pictures and more information about the video you just watched. Thanks.